Hello grade 9 students, this is Mrs. Samah Ibrahim and today we are going to continue our reading lesson on My Father's Shoulder part 2. As I told you at the end of this video, we are going to be able to read the selection and answer the analytical questions. Before you start, make sure to prepare your pens, comprehension notebook and your reading book Beyond B. Now, let's watch this video together.
It wasn't the color that you had asked for, but I don't think you even noticed. Even with the training wheels, you still needed my hand, not to keep you from falling, but to help guide you in the right direction. Slowly at first, then a little faster. And soon, you could steer yourself. And then the training wheels came off, and you needed my hand again. It was scary taking that step, but I was there, holding you up, directing your path. But I couldn't hold on forever. I had to let you build your own strength. Of course, we were there when you fell. It's not your fault, sweetie, I'd say. Just part of learning. And soon, you were flying. And if I tried to help, I'd only hold you back. Go fly, sweetheart. We'll always be here. Praying your scrapes may be slayed, and your path steady. And one day soon, you'll do the same for yours.
Now let us answer some questions. What does the bike resemble? The different stages of the girl's life. What is the role of the father in his daughter's life stages? The father always guides, directs, and gives a hand to his daughter. He is always there not to keep her from falling, but to guide her in the right direction. So, did the father stop guiding his daughter when she grows up? No, even though in certain age the daughter refuses his hand, the father kept an eye on her, watching and offering her guidance. When do you think the daughter is going to value her father's devotions? She values her father when she becomes in his shoes, having her own kid. Then she will always be there for him or her. So we conclude that the father is neither an anchor to hold us back, nor a sail to take us there, but a guiding light whose love shows us the way. Now, before we continue our story, let's review some events that happened in the previous paragraphs. So what was paragraph 1 about? Paragraph 1, inability to show grief over the father's death. In paragraph 2, we see him feeling safe in his father's company. In paragraph 3, undergoing a rite of passage by taking acting lessons decision. In paragraph 4, keeping an eye on the son and providing him with pieces of advice. Paragraph 5, taking father's advice into consideration by starting newspaper work. So, in the previous section, we left the writer in an opposing stage with his father. Now, let's see if he's going to undergo any development in his character and build a new attitude towards his father. Now, move to paragraph 6. Read it in order to tell how the son discovered his father's real care. We see he started that I realized that my father's warnings were his way of relating to me. I had thought that they meant negative criticism. What are they? The father's warnings. He thought they were only negative criticism. Then he mentioned also, I came to understand that he was offering what he could. Then he continued to say, I also realized. You see how many times? Realized, came to understand, and realized. Here we can see how much he repeats the word realized. This is the turning point. This is what we call the turning point or the shift where the writer comes to realization that his father had sacrificed much and offered all what he could in order to raise them up. So he said, he inspired me, not by words, but by deeds. What were these deeds he mentioned? The deeds are, he raised 6 kids and provided them an atmosphere of stability. He managed to take them on vacations and send them through college. He enabled his children to feel strong enough to their individual way and always planned their reunions. Now pause the video, reread paragraph 6 please in order to answer the following questions. Now let's start with 1. What is the role or function of this paragraph in the construction of the story? Does this paragraph change anything in the story? Paragraph 6 is considered a turning point for the whole story, where the writer comes to realization that his father was offering him what he could. Let us move to number 2. Was the son influenced or inspired by his father? Provide your answer with pieces of evidence from paragraph 6. The father ignited the flame of inspiration in his son through his achievements as a father. What are these achievements? The writer saw his father working hard, raising a family of 6, generating an atmosphere of stability and safety, and above all, giving his children a future. Such achievements inspired the son. Now, let's move to paragraphs 7, 8, and 9. Read them silently and try to jot down some pleasant recollections of the time they spent together. In paragraph 7, so as you read here paragraph 7, you will figure out that the father didn't reveal his perilous condition in order not to spoil their fun. Then we move to paragraph 8, where the mysterious box is revealed. What does this mysterious box include? To my astonishment were hundreds of clippings relating to almost everything I had done in my life. In paragraph 9, I gave him a hug, not knowing it would be for the last time. It refers here for what? For the hug. He didn't know it was the last time he's going to hug his father. Here, the writer acknowledged that everything the father has done was for his sake, and that the father who was sharing him all his life activities through these clippings. He said at last, at that time it turned out, which means he discovered surprisingly that he had been there sharing my life. As if my father gave me the greatest gift anyone could give another person. He believed in me. Now pause the video, reread these paragraphs in order to answer the following questions. Let's start with number 1. What caused the son's astonishment and how did the son react when the father revealed the mysterious box that included hundreds of clippings of the son's different stages of life? The son was astonished and gave his father a hug. Number 2, how are the father and the son's feeling mixed? The son hugged his father and hoped to see him again, whereas the father felt it was the last hug and the last time he would see his son. Now let's move to the third question. What did the son realize after knowing his father's deeds? He realized that his father had never left him despite the distancing between them. And all the words that the father used to deliver to his son and the son considered as negative vibes were mere pieces of advice. Now let us move to paragraph 10. Read it silently to identify the writer's feelings upon knowing his father's death. Here we can say it is an emotional, touching paragraph. He mentioned, then came the word that he was dying, followed by endless months of thinking about him. This means here he takes us back to the opening paragraph where he was wondering about his feelings, followed by endless moments or months of thinking about him. This takes us back to the opening paragraph where he remembers his great dad, the one who makes memories, goes on great adventures, always puts his family first, and makes his sacrifices. So he said the security lay in simply knowing he was there. As if he's saying, Dad, your guiding hand on my shoulder will remain with me forever. For Dad, remembering you is easy. I do it every day. But missing you is the heartache that never goes away. Now please reread paragraph 10 in order to answer the following questions. Number 1. How did the writer feel after his father's death? Upon the father's death, endless months of thinking about him filled the son, and after many years, the son is still missing him beyond words. He also missed that long time when he used to trust a blind hero carrying him. Let's move to number 2. What did the son realize after recalling his childhood memories? The son realized that having a father is simply the security in one's life. Now, let us move to the character development for the son throughout the story events. Previously, we finished childhood and then we moved to the teenage stages. Now we'll see the new dimension in the character's personality, where he is influenced and inspired by his father and he values fatherhood. In this period, we can sense maturity and full understanding of fatherhood. Moreover, we can conclude that the writer is a dynamic character where he undergoes a development in his character or personality. This development from childhood to teenage into adulthood results in bridging the gap between the two generations. And always appreciate your parents. You never know what sacrifices they went through for you. Thank you for listening.